to go from a game where truly, as a household, and I don't think my household was alone in this, when the Knicks go up 14 with like 2:50 left in the game, they were up 17 in the fourth quarter, you start thinking to yourself, oh, maybe we can turn this off. Maybe we can stop paying attention. Maybe we can do something else tonight. We'll come back. It's Madison Square Garden. Timothée Chalamet, Spike Lee, Ben Stiller, all the celebrities are going to be happy. You had a situation where Jalen Brunson gets in foul trouble, and you're like, oh, maybe this is going to be a problem for the Knicks. And instead, the Knicks go on a 14-0 run with him on the bench. And you're like, well, we're just going to have to move on to game 2. I wonder what the takeaways are going to be. Wonder what we're going to look at. And instead, you are met with one of the craziest comebacks that we have ever seen, because before last night, NBA teams that were down 14 or more points with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in a game over the last 27 postseasons were 0-970. 0-970. And now they are 1-970 after Aaron Nesmith hit 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. 3 of his 8 threes last night came in the final minute of regulation. The Knicks would fumble and bumble and turn it over, and then it was like, oh, whoopsie-doo, there's another Aaron Nesmith 3. And even with the Knicks holding a 9-point lead with under a minute to play, the next thing you know, OG Anunoby is at the line, and he goes 1 of 1, and of course he misses 1, and the Knicks lead is down to 2, and the Pacers have the ball down 2, and Tyrese Haliburton is on the run with seconds ticking, and he gets past Bridges, but then he sees Robinson there, and he goes, I'm going for the kill shot, and that ball was as high as the Chrysler Building before it dropped down, and for the moment, as he puts his hands to his neck and delivers one of the most iconic images that we have seen in sports, then we realize it's a 2. And I am just cackling at this point because you are thinking this game is going to overtime. Did Tyrese Haliburton waste the choke, the Reggie Miller choke, with Reggie Miller on the call, staring out like a proud parent watching it done again after he had 8 points in 9 seconds, and now you have this Pacers team coming back in the fashion that they did, and you're like, oh my God, what if they lose in overtime? What if Tyrese Haliburton does this, and then they lose in overtime, and then the Knicks score the first 4 points of overtime, and I'm like, oh my God, what if this actually happens? But never fear. Never a doubt for this Pacers team. This Pacers team, CJ, cannot lose in games like this because I don't know. It's inexplicable.
We got into, you weren't here. If you thought I was yelling pastimes, I had the Office Space rocking last week. It was
I love when you have the Office Space rocking.
It was Darnell. It was Luke. It was Devin. I think Derek was there. Darby was over there, right? And we were bickering because like, oh, that's impressive. The Pacers had done one of the comebacks over the Cavs, right? Like, oh, that's impressive. They came back down 7 and blah, blah, blah points, and you can't say we were talking about injuries and got all into that. And I said then, and I'm going to bring it here because I'm going to say it here. Whoever was in that Office Space that day, what were they up in the final seconds? The Knicks. Were they up 8?
Last night? Nine in the last minute.
Up 9?
9.
1 minute to go.
Yes.
You pick all of us up. No training. No training at all. No time to condition. Whatever state we're in, that's the state of conditioning we're in. You pick us up. You drop us in Madison Square Garden. You give us the Knicks uniforms. We'll high-five Spike Lee on our way out there. 1 minute, up 9. We are not losing that damn game. We're not. This is not something that should be a ridiculous take, a ridiculous thought, a hot take. I should be able to grab 6 random adults, drop them in that situation, up 9, less than a minute left, and say, okay, you guys can't blow this. Here you go. And we proceed to not blow it.
Yeah, but you're leaving out a really important factor.
What?
You're playing against the Indiana Pacers, who, when down 7 or more points in the last minute of a game, transform into absolute world beaters. Like, literally, we have not seen a team like this. Since 1996, teams that have trailed by 7+ in the final 50 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime in the playoffs are 4 and 1,702. 4 and 1,702. And this iteration of the Indiana Pacers have 3 of those 4 wins. That is insane. My friend Alex, who was on the show earlier this week and doesn't follow the NBA particularly close, asked me, like, what's the main storyline going into game 1? And I was like, well, there's quite a bit, and Eastern Conference Finals being back in Madison Square Garden. But ultimately for me, I'm looking at this Pacers team. Can they run the Knicks out of the building, essentially? Because the Pacers feel fresh and have fresher legs, and the Knicks are barely holding it together, and Jalen Brunson's ankle is requiring like a special voodoo doll on Twitter holding him, and they've been playing all these minutes, and just how will that function in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals? That is not what the storyline should have been. The storyline should have been, is there actual voodoo working on behalf of the Indiana Pacers? Because it is the only way to explain. And of course, it's not the only way to explain. And you and I were talking before the show. Last week, after the Pacers knocked out the Cavs, you asked me, you whispered, are the Pacers good? And sometimes, we often say as a cliche, it is better to be lucky than good. But in the case of competitive sports, you have to be both. And the Pacers appear to be both, but also appear to have some sort of significant force working in their favor in these situations. Maybe it was the ghost of Jim Irsay, R.I.P., who passed away yesterday, and his final tweet before he passed was "Go Pacers." So maybe that was the extra, but how does that account for the other 2 times they've done it this postseason? It's wild to watch, but I do believe, all things considered, and their other 2 comebacks in similar nature from this postseason aside, last night's will never be forgotten because we saw the Knicks look like the Knicks that we are used to the Knicks being. Like, we have phrasing in this world: chargering, cougering, Clemsoning, and Knicksing. And that happened last night. Knicks-ing. Got nervous. Just trying to make sure we put the emphasis on the right syllables.
Listen, man, it's great to see these types of wins, because these are the types of things that people will talk about in the future, right? There'll be whatever version of a 30 for 30 is, and we'll call it Miracle Run or give it some corny name like that, and it will highlight the Pacers' run through the playoffs, assuming it culminates with a championship, right? It will
even if it doesn't.
It will highlight the Pacers having 3 of these types of wins, down 7, 8, 9 points with less than a minute left, and everything that went into winning those games. I just can't help myself but think and wonder how you could be getting so much money and you can't just catch a basketball if you're old boy for the Bucks, or you just refuse to box out if you're one of the Cavs that's on the court and refuse to get the rebound. Or in this case, with the Knicks, you just let everything go wrong. You
can't inbound it.
Get the ball inbounds. Get the ball inbounds and hold it. Again, give me any 4 grown-ups. Jessica, you want in on this? Me, you, Jacob, and give us 2 more. I'll be the inbounder. I can get it to you. You just come running as fast as you can that away. I'll fake it to you, get it to Jacob. I'll step and bound. He can throw it back to me. I'll just hurl the ball down the court. What are we talking about? They're going to have to foul us. We'll make our free throws, at least one of them, and then we'll just play a little defense, make them waste a little clock. It can't be this hard.
I'm a woman, so I don't have that gene that men have where they just come out and are like, I could do that.
Jessica,
there's no way that I couldn't do that. Yeah, I understand.
What would you? Okay,
but I
stop.
also have respect for professional athletes.
Wait. Not when they're doing stuff like this.
I grew up watching that NCAA commercial that all these athletes, however many the number, and only one will go pro.
What would the lead need to be for you to feel confident?
Maybe like 15, just 15. Timing,
under a minute left, up 15. You could get
15.
4 people out there, and you could win the game against the NBA competition.
Yeah, but even the thought of going to the free throw line, let's say I had to go 1 or 2 at the free throw line. I think I'd be so nervous I would poop my pants. I'm not kidding.
Jessica,
I would be so, and that's the Knicks looked just totally out of sync. They had been I was convinced I started writing my notes for today's show like midway through the third quarter. Karl Anthony Towns is having an excellent game. Them going big with the Cat and Mitchell Robinson lineups and all of the offensive rebounds that they were able to collect, and not allowing the Pacers to get out in transition, and almost beating the Pacers at their own game and playing so fast and getting their own points in transition. And then Jalen Brunson picks up that fifth foul, and you're like, oh God. And what do you know? OG Anunoby leads that 14-0 run, and I thought I was going to be in here asking, why the hell is Rick Carlisle playing so much Ben Shepherd in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals? But stupid me, we're not, because they get the win. And Rick Carlisle having those challenges down the stretch proved critical. Like, especially, I mean, the one on the Pascal Siakam foul, like that getting overturned was everything. So again, it's a little bit of good, it's a little bit of luck, and it all combines to they scored 23 points in like 3 minutes and 14 seconds. I know we're so caught up on the up 9, Knicks up 9 and blowing that, but do you know how much of everything has to go right? I think that was said on our couch, either me or Chris or Alex, one of us was like, for the Pacers to even be in a position, and at that point, it didn't even feel like it was possible. They can't possibly do this again. But for them to even be in the position to have a chance to win, everything had to go right. Certainly, Aaron Nesmith is not going to make another. Oh, yep, there he is. He makes another 3.
So you knew Nesmith was going to take and make threes.
Yes.
Okay. So again,
I don't know why OG Anunoby didn't know Nesmith was going to take
in my situation,
threes.
guess who's guarding Nesmith?
Well, we're putting 4 on Nesmith.
You're going to be on Nesmith. Just don't let him get a shot off. Just be there. Make him dribble the ball. God. Make him waste some time. And then let's say he does make it and we get the ball to you, Jessica, and you do get fouled. You're at home. You're at home. They're not booing you. They're not cheering against you. So we'll stick you in some damn Depends or some pull-ups so you can shit yourself in peace and just take and make a free throw. And even just make the first one. Even if you don't make the first one and you're at the free throw line for the second one, make it, or just get the ball on the rim so when they touch it, the clock starts running, and then you sprint your duty booty ass over to Nesmith and pick him up full court. Like, this is not acceptable behavior. This can't keep happening.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.